In favor of the floor amendment.
Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I wanted to first of all start off by expressing a lot of appreciation for the subject matter chairs who worked on this bill throughout the session and in conference. And I'm referring to the chairs both on the House side and the Senate side, because I know that this is a difficult issue to grapple with. But this floor amendment is being offered simply for the purpose of extending for 2 years the current form of our SHIELD law. The legislature enacted the SHIELD law 5 years ago, and it is due to sunset on July 1st, 2013. The SHIELD law is really a really important public policy issue for our state. It gives meaning and effect to the First Amendment because it protects journalists, it protects the freedom of the press from disclosure of confidential sources. And this is really important because it allows the media and journalists to ascertain and to report the truth to the public. Journalists should be allowed to do this without the fear of being forced to disclose their sources. And so I wanted to make clear that this floor amendment is intended to keep our current SHIELD law in effect for 2 years and to give our subject matter chairs on the House and Senate side some additional time to work out any revisions to this law. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any further discussion? Yes, Representative Takayama.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of the floor amendment.
Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I ask my colleagues to vote in support of the proposed floor amendment because this floor amendment does what the conference draft does not. It affords protections under our existing SHIELD law to the so-called alternative media. That is the free press, many on-site web news sites, and other such journalists. Mr. Speaker, I recognize that there are some among our colleagues who feel that such alternative journalists do not deserve special protections. I realize that such journalists can be troublesome, they can be outspoken, they can be troublemakers. And Mr. Speaker, it's exactly for those reasons that I believe that they deserve our support under the freedom of the press. When our founding fathers wrote the First Amendment, it was out of respect for a press that was a vehicle that questioned government authority. And it was that spirit in which our nation was founded. And for that reason, I believe that this floor amendment supports our First Amendment and therefore ask my colleagues to support it. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, I'll be at a future date asking that our legislature authorize the appointment of a task force comprising of our executive, judiciary, legislative, as well as news media to conduct what has not been afforded the public as of yet. That is a full and free discussion of the necessity for a SHIELD law. And I'll be asking that the task force report to the 2015 legislature whether we should adopt the current SHIELD law or propose an amended one. For those reasons, I ask my colleagues to support the floor amendment.
Thank you very much. Representative Thielen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the interest of time, I would like to request that I be permitted to put remarks in the journal in strong support of this floor amendment.
So ordered, and thank you very much. Further discussion? Yes, Representative Ward.
Speaker, I rise in support.
Please proceed.
Speaker, this bill brings to life what Representative Shiro and myself introduced a number of years ago to actually put the first SHIELD law in place, which was commended as one of the best in the nation. Unfortunately, those in power seem to have wanted to wither away some of those great things. But that's nothing new, Speaker. We are a nation of laws, not of men, even though when some men get into office, they like to wither away some of the First Amendment press freedoms. Case in point, Frank Fossey wanted to have disclosure by all media people. If you were a part of the media, you have to say what assets that you had so we could see where you were coming from when you put a microphone into one of the political leaders' faces. Mr. Speaker, there are some now in office who would love to do the same thing, to wither away from that freedom that the First Amendment gives. But I think it was best said by Jefferson. If I had to choose between freedom of the press or government, I would choose government. And because of that, this is the best floor amendment I think we'll have today. Thank you, Speaker.
All right, thank you very much for the discussion on this item.
Speaker,
Yes, Representative McCully.
very briefly, I stand in support, and
Please proceed.
the previous speaker from the Pearl City area is undoubtedly an expert on this matter, and I would like his comments incorporated in the journal as if they were my own. Thank
So
you.
ordered. Thank you very much.